What's up, guys, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking another look at some pretty interesting and crazy TikToks.
Rock. Why did they erase the ether? No, really. Ask yourself, why did this ancient concept, this infinite, invisible ocean of energy, suddenly vanish from science? Once upon a time, ether wasn't just theory. It was the primordial god of light, the upper sky, the breath of the gods themselves. The ancients knew it. They encoded it in myth, but by 1908 it was wiped clean, replaced with scarcity. You ever hear about the first electric cars? Not the ones you see today. I'm talking about the ones that disappeared from history, the ones rumored to pull free energy straight from the atmosphere. Yeah, they were using metals like copper, gold, magnets, even whispers of red mercury. Devices designed to tame the ether itself. No wires, no fossil fuels, just endless natural power all around us. So why did they disappear? Same reason ether did. Same reason we've been told the only way forward is through oil, gas, and a monthly electric bill. Because the moment you realize there's infinite energy above your head is the moment you stop being dependent on them.
This is just a theory, not a fact.
What is it, like, what's powering it?
Oh my god, Jack, look at this.
What's that?
This guy thinks the earth is flat.
Oh,
Oh my god, what the hell?
that's rookie level shit.
What?
Let me tell you about the mole people. When was the last time you saw Shaquille O'Neal and Princess Diana in the same room? Think about that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
Chemtrails. That's got Margaret Thatcher written all over it. Just wait till March 18th, Harry.
What? Why?
You'll see. You'll see. Who told you that?
Scientists.
Scientists. Your ignorance does make me laugh, Harry. If there are any Glorbians here, make yourself known. Scientists are brainwashed by them.
Who's them?
I don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. Atlantis isn't underwater, Harry.
Is it not?
No, it's underground. What's that, Harry?
Football.
Is it? Is it, though?
Oh.
The mole people rebuilt Atlantis brick by brick to expand their mole kingdom. Yeah, that's got mole people written all over it, Harry.
What was that?
Do you understand that?
No.
Good. Just checking you're not part of the government lizard scheme.
I don't know if I can play that. Oh, there we go. The mole people. No, that's insane. Dude. This reminds me of that picture of the pyramids where it just shows the top and it shows like how bigger they are under the sand. Let me see if I can find it. This is what I was talking about. This is what it reminded me of. But what I also found when I was looking for this was this. Check this out. Like, what if this is really how it is? We're only seeing the surface of it. There's whole underground cities, or really just underground. I mean, not Jack. America is just one whole big business, and the quicker they can get us sick, the more that we can go to the hospitals and, you know, they can treat us, but even get us sicker. Have people not heard of the CDC? Like, they're there for a reason, not only to contain these types of things, but they're working and making these types of things. Like, they got crazy deadly viruses that if they were to unleash, who knows how they would, like, it would be like The Last of Us. Shoot, probably even worse.
Just insider trading. Like the insider trading stuff, like the stock portfolio stuff is quite trackable, but there's, it's a lot more than insider trading.
The way they're acquiring wealth.
Correct.
And what other methods?
I mean, this is really going to get me assassinated. It's like, I'm not lengthening my lifespan by explaining this stuff, to say the least. I mean, I was supposed to go back to DC. How am I going to survive? This is going to kill me for sure. In fact, I do think, like, it's like, I actually have to be careful that I don't push too hard on the corruption stuff, because it's going to get me killed.
Go all in.
You know, yeah, you know, it's like, I was actually thinking about that on the plane flight over here. It's like, if I push too hard on the corruption stuff, people get desperate.
Thank you for watching.
Dang, dude, if even a billionaire is concerned about what he's uncovering might get him assassinated, it's insane that we live in a world where exposing corruption can get you killed.
Constantine was on stream, and they perfectly demonstrated what happens when we put our minds together to make one thing happen. Watch this.
Breathe in, hands go up, and push down.
In 2003, I had a patient in my drug-free medical practice who was a head of state. And one day she said, you know, it's almost time for the great culling to begin. I said, what are you talking about? She said, it's almost time for the useless eaters to be culled. And she said, those are the people who are consuming our non-renewable natural resources. I said, who are the people who make this decision? She said, we, the aristocrats. According to what I was told by this woman, there's a council of 7 men, and they make long-term decisions about what they want to see happen, which country rises, which country falls, which economies prosper. These people have no affiliation to a religion, no affiliation to a nation, no affiliation to a political party.
They're rogues.
They are acting according to their own rules, and their rules are not the ones that the institutions we believe in adhere to.
How powerful are the Bilderbergs or the people above them?
Not as powerful as we, the people, in the aggregate are. When we raise our voices, every single time they step back, they don't want us to know that we have that power.
Where are the unicorns that are referred to in the Bible? Where are those, either in the fossil record or today? I'd like to see one of those. Another one of those interesting tests that continues to get failed.
Well, if you get an old 1828 Noah Webster's dictionary, which is the very first edition dictionary that Webster came out with about 200 years ago, and if you look up the word unicorn, it says that unicorn is an animal with one horn, the monoceros. This name is often applied to the rhinoceros. Notice how this definition says absolutely nothing about a horse. It says nothing about a horse-like animal or a mythical animal or a fictitious creature. It says absolutely nothing about Greek mythology whatsoever, but rather it says that this is a name that is often applied to the rhinoceros. Wait a minute, what? The rhinoceros? You mean this is a unicorn? But the rhinoceros has 2 horns. How could this be a unicorn? Well, if you look up the word rhinoceros in the same dictionary, it says that rhinoceros is a genus of quadrupeds of 2 species, one of which, the unicorn, has a single horn growing almost erect from the nose. This animal, when full grown, is said to be 12 feet in length. There's another species with 2 horns, the bicornis. They are natives of Asia and of Africa. According to Noah Webster, back in the early 1800s, it was understood that there were 2 species of the rhinoceros. The one-horned species was called unicorn, and then the 2-horned species was called bicornis. So basically, you get a 200-year-old Noah Webster's dictionary and look up the word unicorn, it says rhinoceros, then look up the word rhinoceros and it says unicorn. That was just 200 years ago. The Old King James was translated 400 years ago, in 1611. So if the definition of the word unicorn has changed in just the past 200 years from rhinoceros to horse, then it doesn't make much sense to take a modern definition of the word unicorn and apply it to a 400-year-old translation of the Bible. That's illogical. As a matter of fact, even today, the scientific name of the Asian one-horned rhinoceros is Rhinoceros unicornis, and Dicerus bicornis is the scientific name of a two-horned rhinoceros. Well, where do you think those scientific names came from? I wonder. Well, they came from the Latin. Unicornis and bicornis are Latin words. Well, that's interesting, because in Psalm 92 verse 10, the psalmist is praying and says, "But my horn shalt thou exalt like the horn of an unicorn." If you look up this verse in the Latin Bible, the word that's being used here is the word unicornis. Unicornis is the same Latin word that's being used in the scientific name of the Asian one-horned rhinoceros. In Job 39 verse 9, God is speaking to Job and says, "Will the unicorn be willing to serve thee or abide by thy crib?" If you look up this verse in the Latin Bible, the word that's being used here is the word rhinoceros. Rhinoceros is the Latin word that's being used in this scripture verse. Interesting. Rhinoceros unicornis. Rhinoceros unicornis. As a matter of fact, in these 9 scripture verses, there's actually 5 different Latin words that are being used. Rhinoceros, rhinocerotis, rhinocerota, unicornium, and unicornis. These 5 Latin words are what's being used when the Old King James Version of the Bible says unicorn.
Are unicorns mentioned in the Bible? Are unicorns real? Were they real?
That's a little too close for comfort, lady.
Oh, damn.
What, you never seen a talking gargoyle before? Welcome to Illuminati headquarters. I mean, Denver International Airport.
They really be hiding it in plain sight.
Step in facts you wish you didn't know.
If you can remember your dream when you wake up, it wasn't a dream. It was a message. You may be living in the last year of your life without knowing it. You have probably walked past a missing person in your life. Back then, whistling was used to summon demons. If you smell burnt toast, and there's nothing actually burning, you pray most, probably having a stroke. If you shiver randomly, that means it goes past, near or through you. After this video, someone is probably taking their last breaths.
Bro, these are counting the days. But with who, with what, I don't know. God, your salvation.
This is a happy face, no? Once you enter here, you never went out.
You can just check here how many days it's counting, 1, 2, 3. If you count it, it becomes more than a year.
And this for one person here.
See, that's a date.
That's 24. The soap, that's how they were writing.
Yeah, the soap.
With the soap. This kind of soap they were using.
Yeah.
To write.
It's a cement soap.
This makes no sense, man. Oh, bro, look at this. You know what they say here? This is like Greek. That's Vita. That's F. Bro, that's fucking Greek. Guys, I swear to God, all of these are Greek letters, man. But I don't understand what they say. Ta, va, fa. Bro, what is this here?
This is a recital from the Quran. Because, you know, when you read the Quran, it makes you feel more peaceful,
more peaceful,
more calm.
How they wrote these things? Ah, bro, that's how. Probably they just taking pieces of the stone in the corner. From here, they cutting parts of the wall and they
are writing on the
Yes.
wall. Yeah. You walk here, a year has passed.
Oh my God, guys, this smells so bad. How can you stay here, man? The humidity is insane.
Explain dreams. Do you think dreams are like a simulation within our simulation potentially? Because we obviously knock out every night because we have to. I guess in your video game interpretation, it's be like, you got to get your energy back, right? So you got to rest up and give your body time to heal. But when we do that, we're totally suspended from reality at the time. We don't know what's going on. And if we get REM sleep, we get into this deep place where suddenly strange things that are even outside the realms of physics, in some cases in our mind, and certainly outside the realms of reality, occur that we don't have control over what it is, but it comes into us somehow.
Yeah, so I do write a little bit about this. So dreams are a fascinating subject. And in fact, they're one of the oldest subjects that people have written books about. There's probably more books written about dreams in human history than really any other subject, just because everybody dreams and everybody has been dreaming as long as we know. So dreams are like mini simulations. And in fact, so in my book, I laid out the 10 stages to get to the simulation point, which are technological stages. And I said at the end of this, we would be able to build a virtual world that was indistinguishable from physical reality. It would have beings that appear to be real, whether they are or not. In some cases, you may be a multiplayer universe. We would forget that there's a world outside of this world. And so all of these conditions are actually met by dreams for the most part every night. So they are like mini simulations. And there are some psychological theories that say, what are the purpose of dreams? And dreaming is a subject that there's a term that people use called overdetermined, where all these people have put out these ideas of why we dream. And many of them are actually probably true. So it's not like just one of them is true. Is it recycling stuff that we did during the day? Well, yeah, I mean, you can observe that and you can actually see something you saw during the day and it shows up. Do we sometimes talk to our dead relatives? Sure. Yes. Sometimes we do. Is it efficient? Is it needed for rest? Yes. Right. Some people have psychic experiences in dreams. Some people do lucid dreaming where they're, in fact, in the Tibetan traditions.
Oh, whoa. What is that?
It's like that Tic Tac from Rogan, bro.
What was that?
The thing that, like the UFO thing, like flying all over the place.
I mean, this looks like a UFO.
No, but it's like, well, yeah, I guess, but.
Stop.
Look at that. What the
Wow! Look at that! Wow!
Oh my God!
Oh wow!
What? Oh! Oh, that's holy! Hey, you guys see the light on the bottom? Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Hey, look at it from my phone, bro. Look at it from my angle. Oh, no way.
So now I went down the rabbit hole. Y'all know there's like 9 Statue of Liberties around the world. Here's one. Guess where it's at? Ukraine. Of course, this one's in Tokyo. Paris.
What?
El Salvador. Denmark. Look at that, y'all. And look at the address. That's weird, y'all. Paragold. Rio de Janeiro. Northern New York. Y'all, that is crazy. Now I get it.
Like, it's the most irrational fear ever, but I cannot go in a pool by myself or without, like, a bunch of different people in the pool at the same time because I'm scared of this happening. A freaking shark being in there. I don't know why. Like, I'm just so convinced that a trap door is going to open down there and a shark's going to swim out and it's going to eat me. I don't know why. Why? Am I the only one? Am I the only one? I can't be. Like, all of these photos are fake, by the way. They're all, like, AI or Photoshopped. This, no. Someone sent me this video and I just had to screenshot it because what? AI has gone too far. This is nightmare fuel. This is just, I hate it. I know that it's fake. I know that it's AI, but that doesn't stop me from having nightmares about it. Like, this AI girly is more brave than I'll ever be because what? Watch this Photoshopped or AI video that I'm about to show and how does it make you feel? And also tell me that I'm not the only one. I need to be validated for this. Please.
Yeah, this is actually the exact reason why I have to open my eyes underwater. No matter where I'm at, pool, ocean, river, lake, I have to open my eyes and see what's under there. But I learned recently another one of my biggest fears now is being out in the middle of the ocean and getting dragged all the way to the bottom by a squid. I know that's so random, but like I seen a video and now that's on my list. And I'm pretty sure it's on yours now too.
So here's a fact that sort of terrifies and excites me all at the same time. Some of the biggest lakes on our planet are hidden beneath miles and miles of ice in Antarctica. Exhibit A, Lake Vostok, which is under 2 miles of ice, is 3,000 feet deep and is the size of Lake Ontario. That's a lot of lake. Now imagine all the deep sea creatures that are living inside that lake. And just remember, whatever life is living inside this lake hasn't seen the light of day for 15 million years. That's gonna do something to you. And by the way, the water in the lake is not frozen, it's still liquid, despite the average temperature in the area being around -60 degrees Celsius for most of the year. And that's because ice is actually a great insulator. Plus, Earth is always giving off some sort of heat from its molten core. Now, John Priscu is a polar scientist, and he studies life forms inside of these deep ice lakes like Lake Vostok. And one of the questions he studies is how do these organisms survive without getting any sunlight? Well, get this. Remember our old friend Dark Oxygen, aka Doxygen? Turns out these microbes are getting their energy from the rocks. And this is wild because for the longest time, biology just skipped over Antarctica thinking there was no life, no biodiversity there. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. There's an entire ecosystem teeming with life that is totally unique to anything else that exists on our planet. And what's even more wild is that the nutrients that are produced as byproducts of this energetic extraction by the microbes fertilize the Antarctic continental shelf and to the rest of the world's oceans. Because yes, despite being buried under miles of ice, these lakes flush out to the ocean. So what does that mean? It means we have this gigantic hidden ecosystem that is potentially shaping the rest of the planet with its water and unique biodiversity, and the study of how this is influencing the rest of the Earth has just begun. What's really interesting is that John collaborated with NASA to see if Jupiter's moon Europa has water on it. John's assessment was that the environment on Europa was very similar to Antarctica. So it's entirely possible that Europa also has massive lakes that are just hidden underneath miles and miles of ice.
There's a new world out there of biocomputation using tiny human brains that you can literally grow in jars. It's happening after the fact, but it always does. We're deciding how we can treat these things ethically. I bring you the most disturbing new term for wetware: mortal computation. We aren't just performing computation with computer chips any longer. We're performing them with human brains. They have already been incorporated into simple robots, and I believe the next thing we're going to see is them incorporated into more complex humanoid robots. An assistant, a companion that can actually think and grow. The early limitations for mortal computation are rapidly being solved. You can't work with traditional computer systems. You need to design computer systems to work around them that are compatible with human brain tissue. That means something that needs to be flexible, delicate, and can grow with them, because they do grow. They don't just expire after a month any longer. We can keep them alive for a year or more. While you can reset an AI more or less, there are limitations if you want it to be useful. You can't reset a tiny brain. They grow just like your neurons. They have reinforced neural pathways that can't simply be retrained. One of the potential solutions to prevent the silent suffering of a conscious AI program has been enforced amnesia. It simply won't work in an organoid. You would have to do euthanasia. That would mean setting limits on how long we can grow them and how long we can use them.
Oh yeah, 100%. They already mastered this or whatever. They definitely have somewhere in secrecy a human computer that 100% is functional, works. Probably a little too intense and dark for us to like be shown. That's why it's probably hidden, but I have no doubt that they've been working on this for years. It wasn't just some random thought and they just now started working on it.
From New York to Brazil, Buenos Aires, and then Antarctica without ever coming up to the surface for air. And you can do it all at way more than 1,000 miles an hour on magnetic levitation trains, otherwise
Exactly
called
what I was thinking.
One thing he told me, he went from Virginia to Los Angeles in 45 minutes. Do the math, 3,000 miles an hour. Most people don't even believe that there's a tunnel network. There are hundreds of thousands of miles of tunnel systems.
Oh my god, new angle dropped.
Exactly.
Demolitions of these old buildings. It folded down on itself, and
That's
it is
an
not there anymore.
explosion. That wasn't like steel melting. I don't know where people got that concept or that idea. I don't know why these videos give me chills every time. Like, I wasn't even scared, but still gave me chills. Dude, who makes these? Somebody, I know there's some child somewhere terrified right now.
How to cage an angel. Step 1. Exploit your planet's resources. Step 2. Exterminate the wildlife. Step 3. Watch your species fall into disarray. Step 4. You are now on the brink of extinction. Pray, pray, pray. Step 5. Watch the divine messenger descend onto your world. Step 6. They want to help you use their kindness. Strap them into your angel engine. Step 7. Siphon their energy perform miracles. Step 8, return your planet to its former glory. Prophet.
I'm a little uneasy, bro. That's kind of crazy. A lot of people are saying this was AI, so the irony of this being made by AI is what kind of makes this more scary to me.
The Legion of Doom is about to begin its reign of terror.
We could all go with the bus company's special Super Sitter fare. $9? This one's on Nick.
Let's hope Osama bin Laden doesn't know show tunes. God, I hope I get it. I hope I get it.
Wait and see! Oh, you're stupid.
Well, you're stupider.
No, you're...
American defense and destroy the Pentagon with one swift and deadly blow.
Ghostbusters to tower. We're coming in.
And I'm out of here.
People ask me why their grandparents or great-grandparents never talked about the reset. Why don't they remember anything about it? Well, let me try to explain it. First, there were the Cabbage Patch Babies. Now, these weren't just toys, you see. They became a symbol of something much bigger, a massive repopulation effort after the reset. These babies, they weren't born the usual way. They were produced almost mechanically in large numbers and distributed through a cold, efficient system. Strange, isn't it? Brings to mind ideas like cloning, doesn't it? And maybe that's why today you see so many folks who just seem to go with the flow. No questions, no thinking. Did you know they say nearly half the population doesn't even have an internal monologue? Imagine that, living life with a quiet mind, just following along. Those babies, those orphan trains, they were shipped off along with abandoned children who had survived the reset, taken from their families, sent to faraway lands. Many ended up in America. And when they got there, they were given a new story, the official version of history. No elders left to tell them the truth. Nobody to remember how things used to be. It made them easier to control, you see. Easier to accept the new narrative.
Humans was never supposed to sleep on beds. If anything, we were supposed to sleep like this. All I'm trying to say is, humans are supposed to sleep on hard surfaces, guys. When you sleep on a cushion, what you're doing to yourself, you're putting all your weight on your flesh, on your skin, on your muscles, and you basically leave your skeleton not engaged. Now that I'm on the floor, all my weight is where? Is being in my skeleton. My skeleton is bearing my weight, and now my muscles are relaxed. There's no tension. I'm able to sleep. I'm able to let go. But if I'm on the bed, it's the complete opposite. My muscles are working while my skeleton is not even engaged. It's like my skeleton is not even there. Guys, why do we sleep? We sleep to allow our bodies to finally relax. During the day, the way our minds are designed is always keeping us in constant stress, and many people don't take the time out to relax. The only time our bodies get a time to relax is when this guy is gone, and that only time is when we sleep.
Is that her? Like, did they really sell their souls? Is this an actual thing? Like, what's the point at this point? Like, really? I'm gonna be honest, it's low-key kind of getting cringe because, like, they'll do all kinds of stuff like this to show you in, like, outfits, performances, concerts, whatever. But then when you ask them about it, they're like, oh, no, of course not. It's not like, it's like, dude, own up to it. Just say what it is and, like, let everybody get over it already. Because at this point, it's just, like, it's kind of getting old.
The pandemic created at least 40 new big pharma billionaires. Pharmaceutical corporations like Moderna and Pfizer made $1,000 of profit every second from the COVID-19 vaccine. More than two-thirds of Congress received campaign funding from pharmaceutical companies in the 2020 election. Pfizer chairman Albert Bourla told Time magazine in July 2020 that his company was developing a COVID vaccine for the good of humanity, not for money. And of course, Pfizer made $100 billion in profit in 2022. And may I just mention that finally, and this is also a fact, that the American public, funded the development of that. The German public funded the BioNTech vaccine. When it came to the profits, they took the profits. When it came to the funding, you paid.
That is true, too. More facts.
All I'm querying is this.
Yes.
Is if you have an economic system in which pharmaceutical companies benefit hugely from medical emergencies, where a military-industrial complex benefits from war, where energy companies benefit from energy crises, you are going to generate states of perpetual crisis, where the interests of ordinary people separate from the interests of the elite.
This is what you get.
They kept trying to cut him off. You guys notice that? I mean, it seems like anytime anybody tells the truth, they turn into some like bad guy or like some crazy accusations get thrown against them. How you guys feel about Russell Brand? Financing parties? Honestly, I think Diddy was low-hanging fruit. He was just the first to, like, really, he was just the easiest and the most open about it. So that's why they were able to, like, get enough hard evidence and get him what they got him with. Just imagine being Diddy, knowing everything that you know, but you can't say anything for certain reasons because they'll probably come after your family, your kids. Like, be real. With who he is and what he knows and what's going on in the case, you think if you started exposing people, they wouldn't come after him or his family, even him in jail?
This is where the worst of the worst gangsters in El Salvador are incarcerated with no hope of ever being released. Some of them are serving sentences of up to 800 or 900 years for the most horrific crimes imaginable. This is where Donald Trump plans to send the worst gangsters in some of America's prisons to spend the rest of their days.
There is no mattresses inside the cells.
I can get behind this.
In the past, the gang members would be kept separate. And they would be able to plan crimes in their cells. But in this prison, the new system's in operation where gangs such as MS-13 and Barrett 18 have been all put together in the same cell, so they can no longer plan crimes. They have to mix in and live together. This is the only exercise that the prisoners get. For half an hour, they're allowed out of their cells to do this regimented calisthenics with an instructor. It must be probably the most miserable aerobics class I've ever seen in my life. I'm feeling hundreds of eyes boring into the back of me, just dead black eyes.
Yeah, you are correct.
Lord knows what they're thinking, and what they think all day. I guess humanity has to decide what the price is, and whether it's worth paying to put hundreds of people into a cage forever, so that millions of people can live peacefully. It's quite a dilemma.
You gonna make the best dirty girl?
Dude, if I hear anything like that in the woods, the last thing I'm doing is responding to it.
You know, at night when you have to turn the lights off in your house and you get to that last light and you switch it off and it's completely dark and it feels like all of a sudden your house has now become the most haunted house in the world and you have to make a run all the way back to your bedroom. There might be something to that. Now, when we are doing this, right, we put ourselves in a vulnerable position. And I think anything negative, any kind of spirit that is a negative entity knows this. This is the best time to scare us. And they're trying to see if they could scare us just a little bit to gain entry and to allow them permission to come into our lives. So this is a story I heard out of Rockford, Illinois. There was this girl and she lived in this bigger house all alone. And it started to get late. She wanted to go to bed. So she starts going through her house, turning off all the lights. She gets to the last light, which is in the living room. And when she hits it off and it goes completely dark, she gets that feeling. Well, she walks through her living room, and as she walks past her kitchen, she turns and kind of glances in, and she sees a woman, like in a white gown, just standing in the kitchen. And she's like, "Who are you? What do you want?" And the woman just starts walking towards her. So she takes off running to her bedroom. She closes her door, locks it, and she calls the police. The police show up and she says, you know, "Come inside, like there's a woman in my house. I'm in my bedroom, locked in there. I don't want to come out." So they go through her house, they search it, they don't find anyone. And they said, "Ma'am, are you sure you didn't just see something? Like, you know, are you just tired and maybe it was like a hallucination?" And she goes, "No, I'm for sure there was a woman in my kitchen." So they said, "Well, we can't find anything. You probably are just tired. Why don't you just go to bed?" So they leave and she goes back up to her bedroom. And when she lays down in bed, she kind of feels like, you know what, maybe that was just, you know, in my head. Maybe I'm just tired and I need to get some sleep. So as she turns around to adjust herself in the bed, there is the woman standing right next to her. And she jumps up, she runs out of her house, and she said as she's in the front of her house, she can see the woman looking out of her window, staring at her.
I think I'd freeze in horror and probably just die from a heart attack. Alright guys, I'm gonna go and end this video right here. As always, if you guys did enjoy this video, let me know by leaving a thumbs up and or subscribing if you guys are new. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.